Hi, welcome to my views and news. Some news stories from Ethiopia and neighboring countries. Firstly, war of words between Tigray regional government and Ethiopian federal government. Very strong words used by Ethiopian communication minister against Tigray government today. This is the strongest and the most critical statement from the Ethiopian federal government against Tigray since the signing of peace deal between the two sides in November last year. Secondly, humanitarian situation in the Amhara region. Look at that. Amhara region's health authorities have issued a statement sharing details of the losses, the damages being suffered by health facilities due to the ongoing conflict in the region. Thirdly, Sudan viewers, a meeting between Hemedti RSF chief and Al Burhan army chief was postponed. New date has been finalized reportedly. And fourthly, talks between Somalia and Somaliland. Today, a session of talks has come to an end. What did the two sides agree on? Firstly, viewers, Tigray regional government and Ethiopian federal government have exchanged some very hot statements in the last 24 hours. Temperature rising between Tigray and Addis Ababa, tensions rising between the two sides. What happened? It started yesterday when Tigray regional government published a statement. Gata Choreda shared the statement on his Twitter account as well. The statement uh, says that there is a famine unfolding in Tigray. Tigray interim government asked Ethiopian federal government and international community to proactively take measures to stop this famine and a humanitarian disaster which is unfolding in Tigray. And Tigray government in the statement said that due to lack of rainfall, due to destruction of healthcare facilities during Tigray war, due to suspension of aid by aid organizations, the humanitarian situation in the region is deteriorating. And if there is no intervention, tens of thousands could start dying. And in Tigray, more than 90% are dependent on food aid. So Tigray asked the government to intervene, to immediately intervene. And Tigray said it was doing its part as well. But intervention from federal government and international community was required to avert an upcoming humanitarian disaster. And then came response today from the federal government. Lagasse Trollo, the communication minister, addressed Tigray's statement. And Lagasse Trollo used very strong words against Tigray interim government. He said the Tigray government is feeding tens of thousands of fighters. So such a government has no morals to talk about the hunger in the region. And that politics and humanitarian situation are being mixed up by Tigray. It should not happen. Lagasse Trollo accused Tigray government of politicizing the humanitarian situation in the region. He said, yes, there is drought in 4 zones of the Tigray region, but only federal government departments can determine, in accordance with international standards, if there is famine in Tigray or not, which is not being seen. There is no famine in Tigray, according to Lagasse Trollo. There is drought only. Tigray government said there is famine. already started unfolding in Tigray. And very strong allegation from Lagasatolo, he said that for political purposes, wrong information is being shared, propaganda is being shared by Tigray government. These are very serious allegations against the Tigray interim government uh, by the Ethiopian federal government. This is the first time that we have seen such strong words used by the federal government. And by the way, when the Tigray government issued a statement yesterday about the situation there, it in a way threatened the federal government. A veiled threat was issued through yesterday's statement by Tigray government. Tigray government says that what is happening in Tigray could have consequences for national and regional peace and stability. It was as if Tigray was threatening that there could be a war if there is no intervention from federal government and the international community to counter the humanitarian challenge in Tigray. So it was a veiled threat, I think. That is why federal government responded, accusing Tigray of politicizing the humanitarian situation in the region. I spoke about this disagreement between the federal government and Tigray regional government about determination of famine in Tigray. I spoke on that 2 days ago in a live chat. Now you're seeing the same thing, that the two sides are not in agreement. Tigray says famine ongoing, federal government says only drought. If famine is established, there is famine, it means that then the Ethiopian government will have to announce state of emergency. It will have to divert funding from other sources, from other projects to Tigray. Tigray wants the federal government to see the situation in Tigray as famine, which is not happening. But underlying this new war of words between the two sides are other issues too. One of the main issues is return of IDPs. Another main issue is the future status of Western Southern Zone, Zumera Volkai, the federal government proposed a four-state solution to this deadlock between Tigray and Amhara regions a few weeks ago. The solution was largely rejected by the Tigray interim government. So it's not just that the two sides are at the loggerheads over determination of famine. There are other issues too unresolved between the two sides, which is leading to building up of tensions between the Tigray region and the federal government. Secondly, viewers, the humanitarian situation in the Amhara region, less covered, is also alarming. Amhara region's health authority has issued a statement sharing details of the damage suffered by region's healthcare facilities so far due to the war. Not war, due to the conflict between Fano fighters and Ethiopian federal government federal forces. So far, 270 healthcare facilities have been looted. Who looted the healthcare facilities? Fano fighters, it seems. That is what the government meant. 270 healthcare facilities looted. Secondly, 43 ambulances attacked, damaged. 17 other vehicles. All are the vehicles of health authority. These are vehicles, ambulances, and facilities of only one department, that is health department. 17 vehicles, 43 ambulances damaged in the fighting between Fano fighters and the military. I'm not talking about the losses being suffered by Ethiopian military, being suffered by other government institutions, government premises. These figures are just about health authorities, vehicles, ambulances, and facilities. And the health authority says that it is finding it difficult to transport life-saving medicines and other things like anti-HIV vaccines, etc., to the region because of closure of roads, because of fighting along main roads. While the government says everything is back to normal, Fano groups have been defeated, tens of thousands are surrendering, and region is back to normal. But this is what is being reported by Amhara region's health authority. Thirdly, viewers, Sudan, where Hemedti has again reportedly agreed to meet with Al Burhan. RSF chief RSF chief Hamdan Dagalo has visited two countries in the past 1 week or so. He visited Uganda, met with Yoweri Museveni. Then he visited Addis Ababa, met with the Prime Minister of Ethiopia, PM Abiy. Before that, a meeting scheduled for Thursday was postponed. And reportedly, that meeting was being mediated by IGAD. RSF chief was responsible for the postponement of the meeting. RSF chief asked the IGAD that all IGAD member states heads should also be part of the meeting between Hemedti and Burhan, so that if any commitments are made, they should be made in front of all IGAD leaders from Ethiopia, South Sudan, Kenya, Uganda, Eritrea, Djibouti, etc., should be part of the meeting. That is what was proposed by RSF commander reportedly. And obviously it was difficult, I think, to make this arrangement, or maybe Burhan disagreed, but meeting was postponed. Now, reportedly, a new date has been agreed. Hemedti has agreed. He's the one who is responsible for postponement of the Thursday's meeting, because he's in a stronger position now. He believes he can sweep across Sudan, perhaps, militarily. Now, reportedly, Hemedti has agreed to meet with Burhan on Wednesday. On the 3rd of January, this meeting is scheduled to be held. Let's see. Will there be IGAD leaders' participation too? Will there be one-on-one meeting? Most sources say it would be one-on-one meeting. Would it lead to a breakthrough, a permanent ceasefire? That remains to be seen. Meanwhile, two-day talks between Somalia and Somaliland have been concluded. Talks were mediated by Djibouti. Ismail Omar, Djibouti's president, hosted the two leaders, Hassan Sheikh from Somalia and Somaliland's leader, Musi Abdi. The two sides have agreed on formation of a committee in 1 month. The committee will prepare a roadmap for cooperation, for our roadmap about how to resolve bilateral disputes. And the two sides have agreed to implement those agreements which were reached in previous engagements. Several rounds of discussions have been held between the two sides in the past too. The two sides have agreed to cooperate in the fields of peace, security, action against organized crime. Can we say that the talks were a breakthrough? Breakthrough to some extent, that the two sides met. And we cannot say that Somaliland is going to abandon its quest for independence, but at least the two sides have agreed to form a committee. The committee will prepare a roadmap for their future cooperation. So progress has been made, it seems. Talks did not collapse. Let's see, when will the new committee be established? Who will be the members and what will this committee do? That remains to be seen. Thank you.